Welcome back to Subnautica. This is a continuation of my series on how to play Subnautica in a non-scary, non-spoiler way. I'll be avoiding any spoilers as they pertain to the main story, but obviously there'll be some spoiling of minor details in the game. Today I want to focus on sort of improving our ability to navigate around, find things, or different parts of the map and different things that'll be interesting. So we'll go ahead and poke around. I do want to go ahead and take a look here at a couple of the wrecks that are located here in the very close safe shallows. And this one has a couple things that are of interest here. Beacon fragment, there's one. Here's another one. We're going to go ahead and grab these.
Near blueprint acquired.
Just get a little air here. Unfortunately, it's getting dark, but we can still see a bit. Let's see. There's another one right here. I'm going to go ahead and scan this one, too. You'll notice that once you have a blueprint, if you scan something that would ordinarily give you a blueprint, but you've already got all the pieces, it does give you a couple pieces of titanium. That's a useful tip if you're ever in a place that does not have titanium but does have scannable objects and you're in need of some titanium, so you can use that tip. Now we've got the beacon fragments. I'd like to see if I could find one other thing. Let's see if there's another wreck around here. These wrecks do always show up in the same location. Yeah, here we go. And scan this. This is a Grav trap.
Near blueprint acquired.
There's more beacon fragments. Yeah, so. But anyways, these shipwrecks do. This ship wreckage, rather, does show up in the same place every time. So it is possible to kind of learn the location. I don't have all this memorized. Yeah, I know kind of in what direction a couple things might be, but since your life pod spawns in a different spot every time, it can get kind of confusing. But if you just poke around in the safe shallows, you'll find several of those, and they have a lot of useful items. All right, so let's real quick take a look here. There is this separate tab here in the PDA that covers blueprints. So we can come down here and we can see what we need. So if we scroll down here under these would be under deployables in the Fabricator itself, but we've got the beacon, which we need copper ore and titanium, which we have. In the Grav trap, we need a battery, copper ore, and titanium. So let's see. We probably have an empty battery somewhere. Is that in our inventory? Doesn't look like it. I might have stashed it in here. Let's take a look. Yep, we've got a dead battery. You can use dead batteries to craft things, which is great because they come out fully charged after the new item is crafted. So that's a good way to recycle your dead batteries. And then, oh, this one's, okay, so I got a dead one and a live one. Okay. All right, here we go. So R to switch to battery, and we'll go ahead and put the full one in here. And then back to the Fabricator. And go under deployables. We can go ahead and create one of these. And one of these as well. And if I wanted to be sure that to use the dead battery, I could have put the other one in storage. We'll see which one it actually used. Yeah, I used the dead battery. Great. Perfect. I don't know if that was luck or by some design, but okay. So we can go out, and now that we have those, we can deploy them. A couple things though before we do that. I do have some recipes pinned here. So one of the things that's a useful strategy when exploring, especially deeper wrecks, is that you'd like to have the ability to get air quickly without having to go all the way to the surface. So building a little tiny base similar to the one we built by the geyser in the previous episode is really helpful, because instead of having to go all the way up to the surface, you can just craft it right down where you're exploring and just run in there when you're out of air. So we'll do that. I don't know if I mentioned or not, I did stock up on food and water a little bit, so we shouldn't have to stop and do any hunting gathering while we go. Now I do see on the pinned recipes there that we do need some table coral, so let's go ahead and find some of that real quick. I know there's some around here. Here's some. And switch to the knife, and we've done this before. Let's go ahead and grab. All right, and let's go and drink the water. Don't need that rubber, but that's fine. All right, so go ahead and gather get our bearings here, and I'm going to head off, I think, in this general direction. And what we're looking for, there's our base. All right, so let's talk about the beacon first. The beacon is very handy. We can go ahead and actually equip that. So if we go here, and we can go ahead and equip this to slot 3 temporarily. That's where our knife usually is. And if you go ahead and right click, you'll deploy the beacon, and then you can edit the beacon's name. So if you click here, you can call this whatever you want. So we could call this, if we wanted to, Geyser, because it's right near the geyser. And then as we get further and further away from this, you can see on the HUD, it becomes another little thing similar to our life pod that tells us what it is and how far away it is. So this is really useful for navigating large distances. As you place more and more of these, it becomes kind of crowded on the HUD and can get confusing. The game gives you an easy way to manage that called the Beacon Manager. You can come in here and you can turn on the visibility of anything. You can turn on or off the visibility of any of your HUD waypoints, so like the life pod, the beacons. You can also change the color of them. So if we want to say that the life pod's orange so it's easier to see against the blue background, we can make that orange. So we come out here, it's not visible. I told it to be orange, but I also said to make it not visible. So we turn these back on. There's our orange life pod. And if we back up here, we see we get the blue geyser turned back on. So again, you can control the visibility and the color of the different things here in that beacon manager in your PDA. All right, so that's the beacons. Very useful for navigating because, as I said last time, there is no map here in Subnautica. Let's go ahead and equip the Grav trap. In my mind, this is less useful, but there are definitely use cases, especially if you're trying to gather materials. If we come down here, this is kind of a handy place to put one, but we can go ahead and, as before, we can deploy by right-clicking. Once this turns on, what it does is it just tries to pull anything that's in the area. So it'll pull materials, it'll pull fish, it'll pull all sorts of things. Now there's a limit to how many things it can capture, but it, as you can see, it can really grab a lot of stuff. So if you want food, if you want materials, and you are willing to deploy these, you can deploy them and then come around later and gather the materials that they trap. So. No, something over here. that it's trying to grab that it can't get. So there. All right, so that's the Grav trap. For me, less useful, but it does have its uses. All right, let's go ahead. Now I've got a lot of things here in my inventory. So what I'd probably like to do is go ahead and first of all let's equip our knife back before we forget. And then another thing we can do is we can equip the habitat builder and we can build a little storage here. There's a little one that's a wall locker that also gives you the ability to label the locker. So if you have you want to have a very organized storage, you can use that. There's also this larger locker that requires more materials but holds a lot more. So I'll just go ahead and build one of these for now. And then I could put whatever items I don't want in here. So like those I don't need. I don't need multiple golds. Don't need a gas pod for sure, etc. So don't need this, don't need the sulfur. Okay, so that'll just kind of free up our inventory a little bit. And then as you can see, when you focus on any part of your base, you have this deconstruct option. You can actually deconstruct things. So I've now deconstructed the exit. I can't get out of here now, but fortunately I can reconstruct it back from inside. But you can construct and deconstruct things without any loss of materials. So if you have a base and you want to move it, you can deconstruct it entirely and move it elsewhere. Now, it won't let you deconstruct a base you're inside. Like I couldn't deconstruct this tube, but if I emptied this locker, I could deconstruct it. If I try to deconstruct it now, it'll tell me it's not empty. So let's go ahead and rebuild our hatch so we can get out of here, and we'll go ahead and do some more exploring. All right, and I think that what I want to do, let me make sure I got my directions here. I think I'm going to head off in this way, and what I want to do is I want to find an area that's a little bit deeper where we can do some exploring, preferably of a wreck, to see if we can find some more stuff. So I've not planned a direction. Pretty much any direction you head in, you'll find deeper areas. There are wrecks that are here inside the safe shallows, and inside these areas here, the creep vine areas, the kelp forests. These areas with the red grass, they're usually wrecks that are here as well that are worth exploring. So let's head off in this direction and see if we can find anything interesting to look at. So I see here there's a crashed life pod. There are story elements around these, and there are definitely things inside of them that can be useful. I'm not going to grab that glowing thing on the floor because it probably is going to give away some kind of story element, and we don't want to do that. But here's a decent sized wreck. So this might be an interesting place to go ahead and build a bit of a base. So let's go ahead and do one. Yeah, right around here. There's a biter right there, but that's going to happen here. Let's go ahead and switch to our habitat builder.
30 seconds.
And we'll go ahead and put the hatch on. And remember, the hatch doesn't do you any good, or the base doesn't do you any good unless you also have a power supply. Let's go ahead and put this on. And as soon as we get power, we can go in. And we've now got air. So you can, we're now 90 meters down, which isn't super deep, but you don't want to be going up and down, especially if you're exploring right around this area. So another thing we can build here, if we have the materials, is the Fabricator. And we are out of titanium, so that doesn't do us any good at the moment. Let's go ahead and get a piece of titanium. So one way to get titanium is to just zip over to some place that's not quite as deep and go ahead and grab a limestone. And there's our one titanium that we need. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff laying around here on the ground. Some of these are going to be scannables. So if you can't find titanium, remember that trick and just scan something you've already scanned and it'll give you 2 titanium. All right, so I don't think there's anything I need to craft right away, but this is a very nice kind of high-end mini base for us now, because we are able to craft items without having to go all the way back to the life pod or the little mini base we already created. All right, so we can now go around here. Now these wrecks, there are places where you can get in easily, like these holes. There are things in here to scan. There are things in here that you can grab. I see something right here that's very useful. Battery charger. We have run out of batteries multiple times already. These boxes right here usually contain items, so this one has water in it. Perfect. There are some doors you can get in and some doors you can't. I shouldn't talk over the nice lady. Alright, so now we've got a battery charger, which is wonderful, because now what we can do is, if we've got the materials, or can get the materials, we can build a nice little battery charger, so that when we have dead batteries, instead of using them to craft something, we can actually just recharge them. All right, so we need a wiring kit, copper wire, and titanium. So let's go ahead and pin that recipe. You can't pin it from there. Let's go into here, blueprints. Where is it? Down here. Let's pin that. Actually, let's go ahead and unpin all these other things. We don't need that anymore. We don't need the solar panel, the hatch, compartment. So one thing that's really good to do when you're heading out to do exploration is to go and take all the materials for a little mini base with you right off the bat, so that you can very quickly go to an area, build that mini base the way we did, and then set up a little base of operations. And then when you're done, you can just deconstruct the whole thing and move on to the next area you want to explore. Now, there are a lot of materials in this area, both sandstone and limestone, so it's usually not too hard to go around here real quick and gather a bunch of materials. So we're interested in silver, copper, and I think that's really it. Just the silver and the copper. Here's a sand shark behind me. Now, one thing that has happened since the last time we played, there was an event that I cut out that actually changed visually a few things. There's something to scan. Let's go ahead and scan this, see what it is. Something called a scanner room fragment. So it looks like that is something that will be buildable, so we can talk about that at some point in the future. Let me go and grab that. That's a piece of salt that might come in handy at some point. All right, in here we have another something we can scan. This is a scanner room fragment. So since we already have the... Oh, okay, so we need 3 total blueprints. So it told us a little bit about it, but
30 seconds.
Here's something called a bioreactor fragment. And let's go ahead and head back towards our base, because we're getting low on air. We do have our emergency tank if we need to use it, but let's just go ahead and hop in here. We also have our air bladder. I wasn't 100% sure if our secondary tank was full, and it is. So, great, no worries. All right, so we can now craft the copper wire, because we had 2 coppers. We can also craft the wiring kit. Great. And now we can switch to the builder tool and build a battery charger. Now you can see up at the very top of the screen, we've got 75 power units, and we're fully charged. So the solar panel is getting enough power to get us 75 units. If we open this up, we can put in this half-charged battery, and it shows you right there, you know, what percentage it is, and then it immediately starts charging. Now it'll be taking charge from that 75 points. The fact that the 75 is not going down at all tells me that the sun's out and it's able to gather more power than the battery charger needs right now. If we had this fully loaded with batteries and it was night, that number would be going down for sure. But right now it's just going to charge up, and when it's done, we can tell at a glance and we can swap it out. So because of this, we no longer need to worry about gathering batteries, although we might want to make 1 or 2 more, and we'll certainly want to craft additional things that need batteries. All right, so we're just going to look around here and see if we can see some other stuff that looks interesting to scan. Sometimes it's hard to tell if things are scannable objects or not. So this one we've seen before, so we know this is scannable. Little biter, taking a nibble. And here's another one. So we now have everything we need to do the scanner room. I'm not going to do that today, but that is a very useful piece of tech. Sometimes just going around with the scanner is useful, because if you see something and you're not sure it can be scanned, it'll give you the little hint that yes, you can in fact scan that. We already have all those pieces, so that gave us a couple of titanium, which I'd like to have anyways, because I want to build a beacon for our newest base. And we now have enough to do the sea moth, which looked like it was some kind of vehicle, but we cannot craft vehicles using our little fabricator here in our base, obviously. So there'll need to be a different way for us to craft those. Let's go ahead and make a beacon, just so as we explore we can find our way back here, especially since we've got our battery charger here. So great, let's go ahead, and I think that's all I need to do here. And then we'll go ahead and equip this. It has this little finicky about whether it'll let you edit or not. So this is going to be the grassy plateau base. You can call these whatever you want. I just try to be a little descriptive, so as I build more, I don't get confused. All right, let's go ahead and take another look here, see if there's anything else we want to explore here. Now, when you are going into these wrecks, you want to be cautious. There generally aren't dangerous things in them. The biggest danger is just drowning. Now this is where we went in previously. There is another little door here, but we can't open it. So this appears to be a dead end. Oh no, there's an opening up here, so we can go in deeper. But as I said, there's not a lot of like jump scare things. What is this? That's mobile vehicle bay. Okay, so that's something we don't have, and that's one of 3. But it gets very easy to get confused and lost in here. So just be cautious. You can go from area to area, but pay attention to how much oxygen you have, and kind of don't lose track of where you want to be and where you need to get, because it's very easy to get confused, lost, and then die. Right now we're out of oxygen, so we're just going to go ahead and switch tanks and work our way back to the exit here. And then we can come and go refill at our base.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So this is just going to be a lot of sort of rinse and repeat as you go through and explore, get air, and make sure you're in good shape. Let's go make one more trip into the wreck, see what else we can get. Let's see if there was a different entrance. Sometimes finding the entrances can be challenging. Sometimes there are things. Looks like this might have something in here. Yeah, here we go. So another little area here. Now this one, this looks similar. Yeah, damaged wiring. Use repair tool. So we can get through there, but only if we have the repair tool. And I have not crafted the repair tool, so we can't go in there. Beautiful view of the reefback Leviathan. As you saw previously, those are harmless, but very cool to look at. But anyways, in addition to doors that require repair tools to get through, there's also situations where there are doors that you could get through, but only if you have a way to cut into them. And if we keep exploring, I'm sure we'll find a blueprint that would help us with that. A little clumsy here with my driving. Let's see. That may be another door that from the other side would be repairable. Sometimes if they've got lights on them, that means that they're repairable. So, okay, I think that that's there's definitely more in here. But I think that that's good for the moment. Let's go ahead and look around out here and see if we can see anything else that needs scanned. Oh, wanted to try to grab that fish, but I missed him. Frequently, if you go up here a little higher and look down, you can get a view for things that are in the area that you might have missed. Like here's something down here. Is this something we've already scanned? Bioreactor fragment. So now that's something a little different. And that gave us the actual blueprint. So that's great. All right, so we'll head back to our base here. We're getting very low on oxygen, so we're not going to make it back. Let's go ahead and replenish our oxygen with our handy little air bladder. That gave us enough oxygen to get back here. Perfect. And then anytime you use that, be sure you refill it, as well as refill both your tanks. All All right, we've made some progress. We've got the battery charger. We've got several blueprints that we might want to do, might want to craft. Let's actually take a look at some of those real quick. So this one, Sea Moth, this is says something about mobile vehicle bay. I think we also had a we have this mobile vehicle bay blueprint that we know of now, and we've got 2 of the 3 blueprints. So one more blueprint, and we would be able to build that. It looks like that is required to build the Sea Moth. You can see there are a decent number of materials. These are all things that we either have or have the ability to craft already. So we could do that. We've also got the scanner room, and there are scanner room upgrades apparently available that we know about. So that might be cool. Let's actually find the scanner room. So this is another part of the base, or a specialized room. Obviously has to do with scanning something. We don't know what yet. Oh, it tells you right there. It locates resources and wrecks within range. And there are materials here. So if we wanted to at this point, we could build that. So you can see how just going into one area gave you the ability to build a whole bunch of things. Exterior lights. Here's a floodlight. This might be useful to light up the area where we're working at night, or light up our base so it's easier to see it at night. That might be cool. And then there's something here called a base attached air pump. I think this was here from the beginning, as well as a bunch of these other things. Bioreactor. This is something that composts organic matter into electrical energy, as you can see. So you put in biological things and it converts them. This may require a room that we've not unlocked yet. So we may not be able to build that even if we wanted to at this point. But you can see that, we went into an area, we scanned a few things, and we've really gotten a ton of additional things to explore and do. So that's kind of the way the game works. You just kind of keep going, exploring, finding things, unlocking things, and you expand your reach and capabilities. Next time we'll probably go ahead and take a look at building the Sea Moth. It gives us another way to explore. Not required to beat the game, but certainly a lot of fun. So we'll probably take a look at that next time, as well as doing some additional exploring. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'd also love any comments, especially if there are things that you'd like me to cover, either in this or in the shorts. I have done a few Subnautica shorts as well, but anything you'd be interested in having me cover, feel free to comment on it. Thanks a lot. See you next time.